Welcome to the channel. We're playing 20 questions with.
Wendy Sue from Fountain Pen News. Thanks for having me.
All right, let's get into the questions. When I say fountain pen, what pen do you think of?
I thought about this a lot. I'm going to say Pilot Custom A23 because it's so iconic and I love it. I was also maybe going to say a Pelicon like M800, but I'm going to stick with the A23.
All right, how did you get into pens?
I literally fell into it. A little over a year ago, I fell off a cliff while I was hiking and I was largely uninjured, which is a miracle, but I broke my leg really, really bad. And so I sat in a recliner for months and months and months. And while sitting there, I was looking for lap crafts and I was having a hard time. Like I couldn't watercolor and I couldn't sew and I couldn't, all the things I couldn't do. And I thought, it would be fun. I used to use a fountain pen back in the day. It would be fun to do that again. Maybe that'll fill that artistic itch. And here we are today.
That might be the most unique story we've had for that.
It's a doozy. It's a doozy. But
What was,
I fell into it. But zhuzh.
what was your first pen?
Um, my first pen of any like kind of significance was an Asvine P20 or something, just like one of those piston filling pens that looked pretty to me. But I had disposable fountain pens before. When I got into fountain pens before this, I had only used disposable. So I used Pilot and whatever the disposable ones of the day were.
Right. What's your current daily driver?
Do you think? Do you seriously think I have one daily driver?
Oh,
I do
I
not.
you know,
No. No, this is my daily driver right now, and it has in it six pens at the moment. And so it has the two Franklin Christophs that I got at the pen show in Philly in there. It has a Pelican M800 in transparent green, and it has a White Bear pens and a Kilk and another Franklin Christoph. So this is when I daily drive a pen case. I do not daily drive a single pen, and usually more than one pen case.
to be fair, I'm currently carrying around 12 pens in my pen case.
Yeah, you see, you're my people. I like it.
I'm carrying around what is basically an iPad that is pens.
Yeah, why not, man? I need choices in life. It's too boring without them.
Exactly. What's your favorite ink?
I have a, I think all of us in the hobby, I mean, people just in general have kind of a recency bias situation, right? So whatever my most recent ink that I got is usually my favorite for a while. And so I recently got a number of inks from Aziza Gourmet Pens. And so I really like Ice Fog and I really like some of those are great. And then I also got Tom's Studio number 71 called Cherry Bomb, and I have put it into three or four pens. In fact, I'll show you because it's eyedroppered in this one. So you might be able to see, or you might not. It might blur it out completely. There you go. It's a really hot, punchy pink.
It
It's
is.
awesome.
What's your favorite brand of either pens or ink?
So pens, I have to say Franklin Christoph. I don't know if you noticed that I have three of them in my current daily
Yeah.
driver. I just happen to have a number of those. I really like them. Kind of big brand wise, I'd say probably Pilot. And then ink, I am kind of an outlier. I really enjoy Octopus Fluids inks. I discovered them a long time ago and I really like their Write and Draw series and I really like their standard inks. And I don't even mind their sheening inks. And I don't love sheening inks typically, but I'm going to say Octopus Fluids.
I like the Octopus Fluid inks. Mom and I are a
Yeah.
big fan of their certified document inks.
I bet.
I don't have any of the Franklin Christoph pens yet. I always say I need to get one of them. Just
I'm going to do a video soon on my channel to just say like why I'm such a Franklin Christoph nut. There are
okay.
so many reasons, but they're really fun.
They are really fun. I just like much like all the pretty hand turn pens, like it feels like there needs to be the perfect one, and I just haven't found the perfect
Right.
yet.
Yeah. I they're all perfect to me. They're
That's
all my children. They're all perfect. And I also love their that they have a Nibmeister.
Yeah.
And so you know when you get it, your pen is going to be. When I had this pen grounded at the pen show, I told Audrey, "Oh, they can pry this nib out of my cold dead hand," because she had made it so perfect sitting there at that table. So I really like Franklin Christoph a lot.
Might have to go on the Chicago list
Mhm.
back this year. Vintage or modern?
Modern. I do some vintage because I'm a flexer.
Okay.
So I have some vintage flex pens, but I am a modern pen girl. I really like supporting um, you know, individual makers. I like I'm a modern.
Fair enough. Do you swatch all your inks?
I would like to say yes, and I do try. My husband asked once, didn't you have another swatching way you were going to do your swatching? And I was like, yes. And I changed my mind. I don't have to turn it in. It's all for me. And so I have gone through many iterations of how to swatch and how comprehensive I want to be. And then I just was like, you know what? I want it to be fun for me. And so this is one of my visual aids. So this is a an onion skin notebook from the Onion Skin Journal.
Okay.
And I use it to just slop ink around because I thought to myself, I'm going to have this beautiful fancy journal and I'm never going to use it. And I didn't want to do that. And so let's see if I can make it focus. I mean, you can get the general gist, but I do something different on every page. So sometimes it's these guys, and sometimes it's splats, and sometimes it's circles, and sometimes it's
Oh,
like,
that's
I don't know if you can see that.
I
So,
can.
but the reason I love this notebook is because of the sound it makes. Once you put ink on the page, you can hear it. It just makes such, I draw my little inky blob guys that you can't really see. Here, I'll hold one of them up. So that's mostly what I do now is I do it on onion skin in a very loosey-goosey way. Here's one of my little ink blob guys. See if you can see him.
It's so cute.
Oh, I so cute. Her name is Esther, actually. People kept asking me what her name was, and so I named her Esther. I don't know. Why not?
Exactly. Again, my sort of person.
Yeah. They asked me what her name was, so I told them.
Do any pens get the same ink, or do you always switch it up?
I do have a couple of pens that tend to stay inked with the same ink. I'm not neurotic about it. I always say, they're paired for life, but it's very few because I have so many inks that I usually mix it up and I get bored with inks quickly. And so I will dump something out real quick and put in something different.
Fair. Do you keep your nib writing samples so you know how every nib writes, or do you just know the nib in every pen?
I mostly know the nib in every pen, and I do have my journal I can go back and look because I will draw a little nib and write the name of the pen and nib and then the little ink bottle and draw because I had one of those little stamps that had the little nib and the ink bottle. And then I got tired of trying to keep track of that and find it. And so I just started drawing the nib and the ink bottle instead. And they look crazy and I don't care. But I don't keep I have a really good memory. And so I can usually just keep in my mind what it's going to be like.
Right. What's a pen you wish you could see in person?
Before the Philly Pen Show, there were a few that I actually got to try and hold at the Philly Pen Show because I was talking with someone who was like, "Have you ever tried a Namiki Emperor?" I was like, "No. Would you like to?" "Yes, please. Thank you." Just hands it across the table to me. And there were a number that I hadn't really tried before then, like a Homo sapiens, and like he had an Arco celluloid M1000. I mean, it was crazy town.
Yeah.
Um, but I have to say, I want to see the pen that King Charles threw down when he was like, I can't stand this bloody thing. I just want to see that particular pen and just see what kind of state it's in right now.
So you're the second one to say that pen this season.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who said that?
Uh,
You
Monica.
remember?
Monica,
Oh,
who's
nice.
just came out, I think. As
Nice.
time of filming, it just came out. By the time people see it,
Yeah.
it's been out for months. But
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I just was thinking like, okay, what individual pen would I like to see? And I do want to see pens like the Monte Grappa Chaos pen or like, some of those kooky ones that they do, but I don't want to like actually get close enough to touch it or anything. I just want to like, is this for real? What's happening with this?
I want to hold a chaos just because I think it would be so
Oh, so
uncomfortable to hold.
I can't imagine.
So uncomfortable. I've looked at it too many times through this series to not want to hold one at this point, but I think it would be really uncomfortable to hold.
I think so too. And I think that's the point. I think the whole point is you're not supposed to use them.
I, what's your current grail?
I when I was in Philly, I spent all my monies in about the first 2 hours of the show
Yes, I believe
because I knew exactly.
I saw that somewhere. I think
Yeah.
I saw
Yep.
that in a live stream somewhere.
Yep. I did. I knew exactly what I wanted. And so I went to those two places and then I was like, done. And then I saw the Operex pens on River City Penco's table. And I was like, why are you mean to me? Why do you have to be like that?
Which does
So
things.
right now, yeah, right now I'm really longing for an Operex someday. But I don't have any like big Urushi plans or big, there are none in that realm for me, but that's one I hope I get someday.
What pen would you recommend to a beginner?
The pens I usually give out to beginners because I do it often, Pilot Kakuno,
Yeah.
because they have a cheeky little smile and I think they're fun. And I think they're very user friendly because you can see usually, I usually give a clear one so they can see like you have to push the cartridge in until it actually pops. Like there will be a sound. If it didn't make the sound, it's not in there far enough. And then you can see the ink coming down. I just think it's helpful for people to have a visual aid. So that's what I usually give people, the little Kakuno.
What ink would you recommend to a beginner?
I would say your favorite color in Diamine.
Okay.
And get a shimmer one if you want, because the Diamine Shimmer Tastic, I think, are some of the best shimmer inks on the market. I think they behave super well. And it's a low cash outlay, especially if you do a 30 ml bottle. You can find any color that's your favorite color. And I just think that it's usually a good choice.
What advice do you have for somebody wanting to try out fountain pens who might be a bit intimidated by them?
Find someone like me because I will shove pens into your hand until you are not intimidated anymore. I
Yeah.
will bully you into liking fountain pens because I think at least for me, I was searching for I wanted to try everything and I wanted to, but I didn't know anyone and so I was all by my lonesome. And so I offer pens to try to everybody because I want people to not feel intimidated and I want people to feel free to ask questions and try things. So,
Yeah. All of my friends, when we go out to brunch or dinners now, go, "Ooh, what pens are in your bag?"
oh yeah.
The last time
Yep.
it was, "Ooh, what pens do you have in your bag?" And then one of my friends looked at the other friend and went, "I didn't bring paper this time." And the other friend looked at me and went, "I think it's really funny that you think she didn't bring paper with her."
Right. Hello.
It's like,
How many notebooks do I carry? That's the question is how many pens do I have with me, but also how many notebooks do I have with me?
exactly.
I don't usually carry ink on me,
No,
I will say yet.
no, ink must be in pens. I
Right.
don't just carry ink.
Right.
What filling mechanism do you think is most interesting, regardless of if you actually like to use it or not?
I really love a vac filler and a demonstrator pen. I will do that over and over. Pew, pew. It's so fun to watch. And my daughter, I have a 10-year-old daughter, and she'll say, "Oh, is it a vac filler?" She knows what a vac filler is at 10 years old. Can we see it? Can we see it again? And when I do it, and if it doesn't fill all the way up, can we do it again until it fills up more? You bet, sweetheart.
My only issue with them is cleaning them. I
I
hate
know.
them.
Although you may be more persnickety about cleaning them than I am. That's the thing is that I'm a lazy pen cleaner. Like I will clean them, but I don't get them to the point where they could be sold as new.
No, I'm a fairly lazy pen cleaner, except if something's going away. If
Fair
something's
enough.
going away, I want it to be clean.
Yeah.
And the issue is that I almost never daily drive my vac month to month to month to month.
Yeah.
And so
So
it
you're
always
cleaning
has
it
to be clean.
frequently. Gotcha.
I hate cleaning.
Yeah, you know what
Mom,
I just
Mom's
did?
is always inked up. Mine is almost never inked up.
Almost every time. I had a 743 in a soft medium,
Okay.
and I had an 823 in clear in fine. And I did not love the fine. And even though they say you're not supposed to, I swapped those nibs around. And so now I have a clear 823 with a soft medium that they don't even sell. I love it. I keep inking it just month over month over month because I feel like I use it frequently enough that it's probably fine.
Yeah. Honestly, I think if you're using a pen at least like 2 to 3 times a week, you're probably
Yeah.
safe to sleep ink.
Yeah. And
Also,
it doesn't have any
practical
waterproof ink
advice
in it
on
or anything.
caring for your pens. Like I accept
Right. I
no
know. Don't listen to me.
um for the care and maintenance of your own pen collections.
Right.
What nib size do you prefer to write with?
Yes. All of them.
All of them.
My big preference, I prefer usually something more broad, but I love flex nibs.
Okay.
So I am always in pursuit of the best flex nibs out there, and I know what they are. So I hold the secret to the best flex nibs out there.
All right. Is there a style of nib you love or find interesting but would never actually use?
Um, let's see. I don't I don't go directly for an architect. I
Okay.
have used architects. I have some architects, but my handwriting is kind of weird, loopy unreadableness. And so I have to slow down and think a little harder to print. And I think that that's why I don't use architects as much. Um, I really would love to get the results of a pointed nib dip pen, but I can't. It's too stabby for
Yeah.
me. So I love the idea of it and I wouldn't use it.
All right. What's your least? Oh no, I'm skipping ahead a question. Do you always use the same paper? If so, what paper? If not, what paper's your favorite?
Remember when we were talking earlier and I said I was at Staples getting some paper bound into a book? It's a special book with 9 different papers in it. So I like paper a lot. When I was a little girl, my dad had his business in our house, and I remember sniffing the stationery. And then we had a stationery shop in our neighborhood, and all the girls would be like looking at stickers and charms and things, and I'd be over feeling the paper. So I love all kinds of paper, and I love to mess around and try different ones. And so I bound 9 of them into a little book, into a little A5 book for myself just today.
It's fun. I don't do things like that. I just buy like whatever hat I can get my hands on most of the time.
Really?
Yeah.
But do you have a favorite though?
I like Endless Regalia. My issue
Okay.
with it is that I don't like it in big notebooks. And so what
Okay.
I'm using is my pad from last year's Chicago Pen Show, and I'm almost out of sheets of it. And so now I'm rationing it.
Oh my gosh. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make you a mini mixed paper notebook and I'm gonna send it to you. So email me your address. I'm gonna send you a little fancy pants mixed paper notebook and you're gonna have all kinds of I teach sewing machine classes once a month. And this gal after it's a 2-part class. So she was there 1 month for the first part and then came back and she brought me a stack like this of vintage onion skin.
Yeah, I
And
see.
so
I've
I have
never used onions, and
oh
my daily paper is MD paper because it's easy to get.
yeah. Oh, I'm gonna send you
I've got
something,
Tomoe
girl.
River, and I hate Tomoe River paper.
Do you?
I
Is it
hate it.
because it dries so slowly?
Yeah.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
I forget it's wet, and I wipe my hand through it, and the page is unreadable.
Yeah, that sucks.
Yeah.
I love Tomoe River. I have in my 9 paper book today, I have old Tomoe River and Sanson Tomoe River. And I have Champion Copy and Yamamoto Bank and Kokuyo. And it's really, my husband was like, wait, what are you doing? I was like, you don't ask me any questions. You don't need to know.
Yeah. If you ask questions, you're just gonna have more questions. So don't
Right.
ask.
I'm going to nerd you into apathy with my comments about paper.
What is your least favorite ink or ink color family?
Brown. I don't like brown ink. I don't even want to like brown ink. I don't care.
There. All right. Thanks for playing 20 questions.
Thanks so much for having me. It was such a pleasure to talk to you.
Lovely to talk to you too.